Siema, how are you?
Oh, the cutoff for the music was so sudden.
Sorry.
We're
Okay.
good.
Welcome everyone to a weekly live stream about React and React Native news. I officially started. This is my Energizer, caffeinated product from Poland. Oh, welcome everyone. It's 5 o'clock Polish time.
Hi.
I deserve my buzzy coffee. How like sparkling caffeinated something. We have a guest today. We have Hubert. And
Hi,
Hubert
hello there.
did not receive any onboarding for this live stream. Not at all. He doesn't know what he's up for. So,
Yeah.
Kevin, do you
Yeah,
mind
that's right.
recapping for Hubert who we are, what do we do, and why do we meet every Thursday?
Sure. Let's kick this out. Kick this off. What's the word?
Kick it off. Yeah.
Let's just kick.
Like Taylor Swift says, let's kick it off.
Really?
I think so. Let's check. That's our first. Taylor Swift.
Isn't this? I just want something.
It.
I'm so bad
off?
at pop music.
Shake it off. Okay,
Yeah.
Shake it off. Yeah.
Shake it.
Yeah,
off.
it is kick-off meeting, not kick-out meeting.
Okay, so let's kick off, which went really smooth. So, hello everyone, welcome on the stream. This is a stream we do weekly, and we are trying to focus on news and good stuff and bad stuff that happened in the React Native world. This stream is not scripted, is not heavily pre-planned. There is some pre-planning, sometimes not always. And everything you see here is surprise, surprise, happening live. So things can go wrong, things can go great. We never know where we will land by the end of the stream. And
things can go south,
north, west, and east, everywhere. And recently we started figuring and trying out this new approach that first half of the stream we are going through the news, the updates, the changes, and the exciting new events in React Native world. And the second part, we're trying to focus on a specific subject. And this week's subject will be, Łukasz?
Oh, it's Valdi, a new framework from Snapchat. And it caught me off guard, honestly, because in Poland we had a long weekend and they dropped it like on Friday, Saturday, right before the weekend. And we had 4 weekdays off. I really didn't want to read about Valdi. I had to prepare for a local Warsaw meetup with LynxJS. So, yeah, but like here we are with new framework from new big company doing something React-like, and I really want to play around with it. And of course, I don't want to do it in my own private time. Let's do it live. Let's learn it live. Let's make all of the mistakes out there in the world so that people can see how dumb I am, I guess.
Yes, showing lack of knowledge in the open is the most fun, usually.
Yeah. So yeah, this is what we do. Hubert, do you have any questions at this point?
What am I doing here? This is the only question. No questions so far.
Hubert, like us, like me and Kevin, is a software developer at Callstack. I met with Hubert yesterday in Warsaw, local Warsaw meetup, and I asked him, hey, do you want to join for a live stream tomorrow? We're gonna be talking about Valdi. And he said, I don't know anything about Valdi. I replied, that's great. That's what the stream is all about. And then
I also
he
said that I have other plans.
Yeah. So here we are. Here we are. Cool. We might have one other guest join as well later. Let's not say who it is if he decides not to show up. I don't want to put any pressure on him. Okay.
That's very nice of you. Let's not push pressure at any other people. Today, we are putting pressure only on Hubert.
Oh yeah, so when he said,
Thank you.
I don't know anything about it, I said, you have 24 hours to learn all about it, to find out everything that you can, so that we can prepare
I had
this.
less. We spoke
and of course,
after. We spoke after 6 o'clock, so I had less than 24 hours.
Well, how much time do you really need to learn a new framework? Yeah, I just wanted to point out it wouldn't be a proper stream without Ryan. So good to have you here. Hello.
Thanks for joining.
Hi, Ryan.
Okay.
Are you changing the lights?
Yes, I want my face to be as illuminated as yours.
Oh, I have this nice trick, because let me show maybe a little behind the scenes. I have this special lamp. This is like cartographer's lamp, something like that. No, architect lamp. This is basically 2 lamps, and they don't make shadows. And when I am about to stream, I just twist them to point on me. So I do recommend. I think they are shadowless, shadeless lamps, something like that. Great investment, because they.
What's the shadowless? What does it mean even?
Because they are spread here. There are two lamps basically. So when they both shine, they limit or remove completely shadows. So for drawing or for manual stuff.
Okay. So they shine from different directions.
Yeah. No. A very good investment.
Oh, I have something like that as well. I can't turn my camera, but I have this light. This, you can see.
Yeah,
like it has shadows. Okay, let's jump into it. Kevin, decision is yours. What do you want to do? Do you want to first go over our beloved newsletter? And we didn't do that last week, as you remember or not.
Didn't?
Oh, you were not here last week. I was here with Shimon, right? With Shimon and Matt.
Yeah.
Okay. So last week we were streaming for almost 3 hours. Don't worry, Hubert. You can still leave earlier if you want to catch your train or go to other city as your plans are.
Unfortunately, I have to.
We were streaming for 3 hours, me, Shimon, and Matt. And we started, me and Shimon, with just a little bit of newsletter, and then Matt came in, and we decided to go straight into the last week topics, which was Hermes. We are talking about Hermes V1. Today's topic, what do you want to do? Do you want to start with some news from the newsletter? Like 30 minutes of news, and then going into...
So.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you want to share the screen, or am I sharing the screen?
I have quite a bit of mess now today on the screen.
Okay. So you have an excuse. Okay, I can.
Yeah, it's not a proper excuse, but
no worries. We are a team. I got you, man. No worries.
Like recently, my biggest struggle was that I was formatting my old laptop with Windows. It took like 5 hours. Because I'm, this is very nostalgic time. Coming close to Christmas. So I'm planning on playing good old games like Heroes, Might and Magic, and Fallout 3. Sorry, not Fallout 3. Fallout Tactics, Fallout 2. So yeah. I'm preparing for I'm preparing for exciting times. Reliving the past.
It's funny how you said it. My biggest struggle. And then I was like, okay, maybe you had some hard times, maybe you need some comfort or something like that. And then you said, I was formatting my Windows machine.
Yeah. No. It's because, it was a struggle because I started formatting this around 8 p.m. So yesterday I went to sleep at 1 a.m. in the morning because I was formatting the freaking PC. Like, how can it take so long? So it was a struggle. Okay, I'm surprised. Łukasz, what's happening here? What was happening there?
I actually want to first start with the riddle today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just for Hubert. So Hubert, what we usually do is we look at this awesome newsletter that is the best newsletter in the world. If you don't read it, go and read it and then come back. Read all of the 258 entries in that newsletter. It's curated by Sebastian Rohrber. Usually, sometimes it's he has help with people from Software Mention or other people. Today it's only Sebastian, and like this newsletter has a quote from Mike Grabowski, who is our CTO. It has a lot of things, so we do that. But also, almost every week, we go into this newsletter, which is shorter, but it has a riddle. So, and it's written in this like humoristic way. So I like this one as well, but it has a riddle. So let's look at the riddle. That's the riddle. Spot the bug. Okay, so that's just the bug. Class user, async constructor, user ID, and then user gets await get user.
I am not
Can
sure.
we have async constructors and async awaits in constructor? I don't think so.
I don't think so too.
Yeah, I don't recall. I mean, this. By the way, this is quite an old example.
Yeah, constructor in classes, and this in constructor.
But I'm quite sure I've never seen await new user because you need new to initiate in constructor, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, maybe that would work. Okay,
I've never seen that the async constructor objects aren't threaded, aren't async.
Okay, let's see if we're right. And ta-dam, JavaScript doesn't allow class constructor to be async. Congrats, guys. You passed the test of byte.dev for, I guess, mid-level developer.
Oh, but here's a way to do user.init that is asynchronous. Now I'm surprised again because I didn't really know that you can have async static functions.
But that's static, right?
Yeah, static functions is just a function on top. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so that's not, this is not creating a new class. This is creating a new class with this.
Yeah, but the asynchronous code is taken outside of the constructor.
Funny. Fun.
Well, it would be better to just make a factory instead of that, I guess.
And congrats, Ryan, as well. You were late, though. We already fixed the code.
Congrats.
Yay. Okay, so this week in React. Hey everyone, Seb here. Hello Seb, Łukasz here, Kevin and Hubert. This week has been relatively calm in the ecosystem. I wouldn't say so.
Oh, wow. Wow. No, say so. Let's say so.
the Valdi stuff is not calm.
Yeah, I'm quite excited for that.
Yeah.
No. I just say that I'm really excited for the Valdi stuff because it sounds fun, but I have nothing. I have no idea what it is about.
we have a good variety of community blog posts, releases, and weak signals. What is weak signals?
I assume it's a thing. Maybe it's a thing from AI. Like a strong signal is something that helps AI to train. A weak signal would be like something you should discard.
Okay. I'm not sure what to highlight, so I'll just let you enjoy reading it. Okay. As always, thanks for supporting us on your favorite platform.
Okay. Which one is your favorite?
So I use X. I started with not liking X like a few years ago, but right now I'm there pretty often. I'm often on LinkedIn as well. I just like have... It's a bit different experience between X and...
It's kind of funny that you didn't... Yeah, sorry.
I didn't do like LinkedIn lately because they have these mini games. So I am there daily to play them.
Yes, you told me about this a few weeks ago. About like these riddles as well. Like maybe not riddles, but like quizzes, right?
Yeah, there are a few games that you can play, and they made them to lure you into LinkedIn.
Can you send it to me? Like I'm on LinkedIn almost every day, but I didn't see those kind of games.
Okay,
maybe they don't have to lure me in because I'm already there. So they don't promote it.
I'm hard to catch, probably.
Yeah. Cool. So in React Word we have TanStack DB half, I guess. Query-driven sync. We were talking about TanStack DB, right, Kevin? A few months ago.
TanStack,
I think so. I think so.
Yeah. We mainly talked about that we want to check it out one day, like a proper checkout.
Okay, so this will not be a proper checkout, so let's not click on it. Then build a React frontend for your backend with lovable and strappy step-by-step tutorial. Both Ban and Vercel announced TanStack Start support, leveraging the Nitro Vite plugin. Huh? What? Let's look into this. I want to understand what's
like
going on.
More and more often I see TanStack being mentioned in the news. So I think that...
Well, what I have for you is something.
TanStack created their own framework, like NextJS competition.
Yes,
that's when we wanted to check it out, because like whenever I thought about TanStack, there was always a bunch of tools, great tools, but still tools, and now they are transforming into something bigger, like a huge entity in React and React Native world. So I feel like it's one of the best. Like if you don't know already the TanStack stack, I guess it's the best time to learn it would be now.
Yeah, I was going to actually... Okay, Tanner is the person behind TanStack. Surprise, surprise. Tanner and TanStack. And then he had this tweet, and I don't know when it was, few days ago, I guess. Yes, this one. Do you see it? Do you see it, guys? We just hit 4 billion downloads of TanStack. Like combined TanStack libraries have 4 billion downloads. How much does, let's say, React Native, right? React Native. How do I look for downloads? I guess on NPM, right?
But would it make sense? I mean, is like, for instance, let's say Expo, when we have CNG, right? Do they every time fetch React Native from NPM, or do they have their local instance? Because I don't think they just like fetch from NPM with each installation.
Well, that's a good point. And not only expo, but like large products, what they would have is like mirrors, right? Like their own internal repositories. How is it called? The mirror repository.
Artifacts?
Artifacts, yeah. Artifact repository where they would fetch this like from their own thing. But I guess like it's similar with every tool. Like this is just for like purposes of me checking out. So I have the weekly downloads, but I don't have cumulative downloads.
And how much is 4 billion? Because I know
4
that
billion is
because keep in
1,000 millions.
No. Keep in mind that Polish billion is not the same as English billion.
Yes, I know. That's how much, Kevin. This much. Oh, you don't see it. Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna put it here.
See, I'm not. Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Yeah, it was that number.
That's the billion one. That's 9 zeros.
In Poland, it will be milliard.
1,000 million. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how much. Okay, let's go back to the subject.
Oh wow! In Polish, billion is million of millions.
Yeah.
So yeah, it still would be more impressive in Polish.
So if you go to this website of TanStack, TanStack is actually like a collection of libraries, with TanStack Start in RC being the full stack framework, TanStack Router being router for web applications. With TanStack Router, there was this wave of posts from a few months ago where Create React App was deprecated. Do you remember what that is, Hubert? Create React App, CRA?
Yeah, I remember.
So that's like a CLI tool to bootstrap new React projects, and React team was discouraging usage of that tool, and I guess like deprecation of that tool. So people just like started doing that with TanStack Router, like create TanStack Router app. Create TanStack Router app. And I guess that's the... If you go to React docs, they would probably mention this as one of the alternatives. They probably don't mention it as like one and only, but like as one of the alternatives. And then you have query, of course, which started as React query, and table, which started, I guess, as React table as well, and not TanStack table. Form, DB, virtual, pacer. I don't know what pacer is, honestly.
The
framework
bouncing.
agnostic, the bouncing, throttling.
Ooh, nice. That's actually quite dope.
So that would be like underscore library or
no.
Lodash?
Lodash, yeah, Lodash has that.
No, okay.
But Lodash has a lot more.
But I would say that it's something like use debounce.
Yeah,
library.
Probably.
Or set timeout.
Yeah, but honestly, debounces are annoying because you rarely need them, but when you need them, you really need them. And especially now with like we were regularly hitting that issue that when you have an app that streams conversations with AI or any like streaming, usually it just like showers you with chunks. So if you don't have any debounce, you will often hit the React render limit, because it will schedule re-renders for every chunk. So yeah, nice to know that they have also debounces and stuff like that. Very useful.
Shit, Do you remember how we started this stream with, oh yeah, let's talk about this new framework, and now we are deep into TanStack ecosystem for some reason?
Not really that deep, but we
Not really
are
that deep,
blazing
but yeah.
over it.
Cool.
Because they are getting more and more like fun and interesting. So we need to schedule at least one stream to properly check them out.
This number just like hit me.
I like the name of this tool, TanStack Pacer, for pacing your requests.
Yeah. It's great. Okay, I'm closing all of the tabs about TanStack. Thank you, Tanner, for all your hard work.
Although I'm not gonna lie, seeing that it's from Tanner first part, like TanStack.
Yeah.
It would hit so hard to have a slay stack.
Slay stack?
Yeah, from the last part of his surname.
Slayer?
Yeah. He is Lindsley, right? Tanner Lindsley. So having slay stack.
Okay.
Slay. I don't know. Sounds dope. But it's too late to rebrand.
Maybe we could have Callstack.
It sounds like a really bad food chain restaurant.
Actually, yeah. Okay, I'm closing this. I'm not closing bytes yet. Okay, so we started with this. The news was both Ban and Vercel announced TanStack Start support, leveraging the Nitro Vite plugin. Okay, so use TanStack Start with Ban. Full framework, blah, blah, create TanStack, start the dev server, update scripts. Okay. And then with Nitro, you do this. Okay, I guess. And then with Nitro, you can use TanStack Start. Okay, cool. Nice. I'm gonna mention this in our summary after the
okay.
Then we have a bunch of articles. I'm gonna skim through them real fast because we usually don't read the in-depth blog posts. Then in React Native we have the Snapchat Valdi.
Oh, this sounds interesting.
Yeah, we will go back to it. Like the most interesting thing is that they used it in production apps for the last 8 years, which is surprising for me. But let's see. Let's see later.
Are you using Snapchat?
Nope. But I know people that do. My 17-year-old, I don't know the proper word. So like son of my sister, who's 17, he uses it. Nephew, yeah, my nephew. And then his sister as well, so my niece, she uses it. She's like probably 15 or 14 or something. So yeah, it's this kind of demographic, I guess.
I never understood the idea of Snapchat.
Well,
like if I send you something, I want you to have it.
Thank you, Kevin.
And the idea here is I sent you something ephemeral, so you don't have it. I just sent it for now, and then you don't have it.
Well, I guess doesn't it make it sometimes like more valuable that it's like fleeing?
But you still can make a screenshot, right?
Probably like the other person would get a notification, maybe?
Yeah, there is that kind of feature. So if I screenshot your snap, you will get the notification.
And would they get a notification if before opening the message, I would start a video recording of my phone?
Huh.
Then I would just
record
it. Let's all install Snap right this moment and check it out.
I would think that the screen would go black, like with Netflix.
Oh, I didn't know. I never tried to record Netflix.
I guess
screen
Hubert
goes black.
has. Yeah, with the
No,
DRM, right? Like that's the DRM support or something.
Yeah.
What is a DRM?
Digital
kind of-
rights management.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it stands on the platform side, right? So like
Yeah.
Android would be responsible for implementing functions for their clients to protect certain areas of the app from taking a screenshot.
I'm not sure how it's work, but there is an API, so you can check if the recording is active. And you can black out your application.
Okay, so but nothing can protect you from just like taking a phone, recording a video, and taking the other phone and recording that phone.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe that's the idea for a new company startup.
Yeah.
I think that's unicorn idea.
A new product. I will call it Snapchat Persister. Make fleeing moments
Hubert,
forever.
add AI to this. Add AI to this. Like you have to add AI on top of it.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. No AI, no product.
Yeah. Okay. We will talk about Valdi real soon. I promise you guys. Real soon. This one is cool. This one is cool as fuck. Look at this.
Yeah, I've seen that.
This one has like 51k views.
I think everyone's seen it at this point.
Yeah.
Oh no, 51k is from I think from the another like repost. The main one has like bazillion, something like that.
What is the
because I think this was the like and go into Conrad's go into Conrad's
profile,
yeah, and slide down because this one has 51k, but the jelly slider it says like 1.3 million.
Yes, okay. This
12
one has
million actually.
13 million views. Okay.
Yeah.
But is it so like this one? Okay. So this one is not made in React Native, but this one is made in React Native.
Oh. Okay.
So like ever since I saw this, first saw this, I wanted to try implement it in TypeGPU, and I finally got around while testing the. Okay, I don't know if TypeGPU is actually a React Native thing, but I guess it is. So let's look at this. TypeGPU. Let's go to the TypeScript library that enhances the web GPU API, allowing resource management in a TypeScript declarative way. Okay, that stands for nothing to me. Can you please explain what do you do? Easily encode and decode. Okay. Run it on React Native. Okay.
Isn't this behind the worklets from Reanimated?
It works on top of worklets, I guess. No,
because
no,
I saw software mention.
Yeah, that's library from the software mention.
So probably very connected.
So he created this in React Native, actually. So this is what I saw.
I want to see it on old Android device.
Well, you can just like take this.
Well, I was able to open the link to that and open it on my phone. And it was working like through the web browser on my phone.
This one? You mean like this?
Yeah. Like I just opened that. I just clicked the link on my phone and it was working on my phone.
So cool, though. Like, honestly, this is so satisfactory. Look at this thing.
I need to check it out.
So okay, so guys, if you want a link, I'm gonna put it here.
Well, I'm gonna I have to at some point play with that, and I don't mean the slider. I mean the library.
TypeGPU.
Yeah, and I've heard a story that like they had some issues with console logs at the beginning, and so they basically wrote all of that without big ability to debug stuff. So kudos, and that's amazing.
Congrats, Konrad. Like, this looks awesome. And you guys at Software Mention are awesome as well. Software Mention just had their 13th birthday, so happy birthday.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been on the party. It was fun.
You've been in Krakow for the party?
Yeah.
Nice.
What?
Yeah.
Like, you...
I got
know
invited.
that Pierzchała was there as well.
I got invited because I worked with a couple of guys, and we really liked working together, and I was very nice to them, and they were very nice to me. They were like, "You wanna come?" I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Well, Kevin, you know, if I'm invited to parties, like, I always tell you to come with me, right?
Well, because you know this invitation was, of course, with like additional person, so I took my wife.
Well, does she like programming at all, or like Reanimated?
Well, she's a designer, so
oh, fuck. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, let's go back to the newsletter. Awkward. Okay. This one is not fun at all. Let me stop laughing, because this one is not fun at all. So there was a vulnerability in CLI for React Native. Let's just read it. As a maintainer.cli, I learned about this vulnerability today, and actually the issue only existed in 2 versions for React Native 080 and 081. Starting from CLI v9, there was a validation included for URL. The check for that validation was removed for those 2 APIs, and then Shimon patched the CLI for 081 and 080. I'm not sure like what's the actual risk and is that you don't have that.
Maybe without URL validation, it would make it possible for library providers to like fetch malware data.
Well, it says an unauthenticated network attacker can get RCE on your machine via running dev server.
Wait, what? That sounds super complicated.
Yeah. So let's look at this. So
RCE,
put React developer on risk.
It's rynkowa cena energii.
Remote code execution.
Nice.
But wait, so if you would be debugging React Native, someone can like sit next to you and hack you?
I'm not sure. Okay, discovered blah blah allows remote unauthenticated attackers to easily trigger arbitrary OS command execution on the machine running React Native community CLI development server. Save risks to developer. Change popular framework. Okay.
So
okay, cool.
Somebody can connect to your computer when you have CLI open?
when you have the dev server running.
Oh,
This. So specifically, developers who use with a framework that doesn't use methods not vulnerable. Okay.
it sounds like a very, very specific vulnerability.
Okay.
And especially and a vulnerability that would target mainly the developers that work from like Starbucks.
I know nothing about security in this way. So the
You don't know about
vulnerability
security
was
in
there. Sorry?
I think that they could try to hack some developers from big companies.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Fair enough.
If I know that you work for a bank or something like that, and this application is made with React Native, I would try to connect with you via your server, via your CLI, maybe.
Yes. Okay. So it would be quite nice for like penetration testers.
Yeah.
So there's this. Oh, can I just use the toilet? And then you open your laptop.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go next. Okay. Oh, this one is amazing, guys. So this is an article. We usually don't look at articles, right? Here.
I like to look at them.
We don't want to like go too much into the depths. But look who wrote this one.
I know that guy. I know this
me.
guy. Yeah.
I actually wrote an article about LynxJS based on the live stream that we had with Szymon Rybczak.
You know quite a bit about the Lynx, right?
Yeah, I do.
Did it start to be like more useful now?
More or less, yeah. Like it's getting more useful with each release.
Because I'm quite skeptical because currently they're like, oh, it's extremely fast. It's built for speed and and being light and quick, but it doesn't have a bunch of important features. So I'm skeptical in terms of will they lose their speed once they add the features?
Well, no, probably not. Like the features, like the performance things are baked into the engine. Let's say.
I mean,
they need to work on like making it usable from the features and standards perspective, but like from the performance perspective, it will, in my opinion, it will not degrade.
Okay, so is Lynx used anywhere in production?
Oh yeah, in TikTok.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
So they made it for TikTok.
Yeah, they made it for TikTok. So this is it. This is my article. Go read it. Please leave a comment. Can we comment on the articles? No. Leave a comment on X then. Okay. Okay, that's all. Let's look into the
Lynx. Not the Lynx. The Vivaldi.
Valdi. Do you know how I remember the name of this framework? Do you know Świat według kiepskich?
Yeah.
There was a Waldek there, and Valdi is Waldek.
Okay. Oh my god.
Świat według kiepskich is a Polish sitcom. That's like
sitcom is a very powerful word for that.
Ran for like 20 years. I don't know if they still make it or not. I own a TV, but I don't have like channels for TV. But like it's really dumb. But they made it for like 20 years. So like,
it was basically our version of Love and Marriage.
Yeah. Love and Marriage, yeah.
I remember they in Świat według Kiepskich they had the episode about the new millennium crash. So everyone throwed their computer to the garbage.
The 2K. So how was it called?
Y2K
Y2K. Yeah, Y2K.
or 2KY? No, Y2K.
Apparently, some things happened.
What happened? Do you know?
I mean, there were like singular instances of things like actually breaking, but the main systems they remained.
Did the reptilians come down to Earth to
create
if one world government?
If you make some sort of a clock and you actually use only an int, then yeah, it's gonna break. You have no ability to update it remotely.
Okay. Listen, guys. Let's start. It's 47 minutes in. Are you warmed up?
Yes. Yeah. Please tell me finally.
Are you excited?
What is the Valdi? I can't wait anymore.
So, Snapchat released a beta version of the cross-platform UI framework they've used in production apps for the last 8 years. It's not based on React. Okay, the stream is over. But also uses a similar declarative model and relies on the Yoga layout engine. TypeScript components are compiled directly. This one is huge to me. Like, I'd love to understand how they do it. To native iOS, Android, and macOS views. So this is the explanation from This Week in React. Let's see the explanation from Bytes as well.
Wait, so Valdi...
Snapchat, when they release V1 of their cross-platform framework before React Native. They jealous, it's sad. Is it V1? Is it fucking V1?
No, it's beta. So it
no, but like V1 beta or what?
I mean, honestly, I consider React Native to be V1 for a long time already.
Okay, so it's like 001. It's not V1.
Yeah.
This is why I like the bytes.dev. Like, for those reasons. Okay. Snapchat is coming for React Native. At least that's what it felt like last week when an open source Valdi, a cross-platform UI framework that's promising the best of both worlds. True native performance across platforms and a smoother developer experience that's built for speed. It's still in beta for now. Still. Fucking still. They released it like a week ago.
but to be honest, in the same time, they are using it for 8 years already. React Native has 10 years.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but
imagine...
it is done...
Yeah,
this
go
is
ahead.
done only from one application, so we don't know if it's usable or anything else.
This is what I was going to say. Like, they used it internally for 8 years. You know what it was? This was client code. This one, like one application client code, or maybe not one application, maybe have like few applications, but this was their client code. It was packaged somewhere there in folder called utils or something, that someone wrote like 8 years ago, and like it was it was like commented out, and like TypeScript ignores, and like TypeScript any's, and from March until now they were like when Lynx got released, they were like, okay, we can release our framework as well. And like from March until now, they were like fixing all of the bugs for this to like hit the mainstream.
I'm very curious what enticed so many big companies to suddenly release so many things into the wild. I don't understand that.
I have the same question in my mind, and the only answer that I get is the recognition. So this is my contribution to the world, so give me applause and like me.
Or it might be, okay. You know what it might also be?
AI.
Yeah. Imagine
Yeah.
you want your developers to work, 10x and use AI, but you won't be able to use AI if your framework is unknown to the public and no models are trained on that framework. So by releasing that, not only you are increasing recognition of your framework, but also you are basically offloading the task of preparing AI models that know your code to other companies. So you are 10xing your
Nice.
developers by releasing the framework. And I can, I do confirm, using AI on a framework that it never seen, it's a nightmare. Like now, I'm struggling even with Reanimated 4. Like Copilot still screams at me that CSS transitions do not work with React Native. I mean, yet they do. They are the main purpose of Reanimated 4. And so yeah, it might be the reason. Actually, it would make
Yeah,
sense.
like so there are a few sides of this story, right? So when Meta released React Native 10 years ago, they made a commitment, right? To like support other users other than internal users. And like through that, imagine how much easier would it be for them if they just keep this internally. They wouldn't have to like promote new architecture at all. They would just like use new architecture themselves. They wouldn't have to support all of those other libraries like out in the world because they don't use open source libraries in their ecosystem like internally. So that's one thing. But on the other hand, they wouldn't get like ideas and growth and talent from outside world working on React Native. If they want to
Yeah.
hire people, they would have to teach everyone, hey, this is React Native. This is our way of building mobile applications. And everyone would be like, what? You are using React to like orchestrate native
Yeah.
use? Are you crazy? I got hired as iOS developer or something. So like probably like there are a bunch of like other pros and cons, but like open sourcing is not, honestly, it's not a clear gain. It's a compromise, and it's like a balancing task almost, I guess. They So if I go to the GitHub repository, right? How many commits they have? They have 20 commits. Everything is inside inside this, right? Like on November 6th. What was November 6th? Let's see. Calendar. Sorry for that. I need to check what day it was. Oh yeah, it was Saturday. No, it was Friday. Someone, oh, I got it. Yes. Yeah. Cool. I know. It was the first time that I opened a calendar. So it was Friday. So on Friday, someone released a framework.
But it's
Good.
0.0.1 beta.
I know. And then look at if you ever feel bad about like your commit messages, look at this. Initial open source release, then add files, that is descriptive, and then it's internal change, 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 how many
Do they
so we have, sorry?
do they have descriptions? More lines of descriptions, or only the
No, that's it.
Oh, so I guess that they are. I guess that they still have internal. This framework is like developed internally, and then the bot is just like copying the changes to the open source version.
Yeah, it
Well,
looks so.
yes, there is this like bot snap CI, snap CI bot, okay, that is like copying the changes internally. Okay, cool. Yeah. But like, why is it called internal change?
Well, maybe, maybe they are using some internal lingo for removing this client's stuff from this and that, and they can't just like add it to like they can't contextualize. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out because it doesn't really make sense.
Or maybe they just did create CI with simple internal change hard coded because it was Friday.
Oh, that makes sense.
So it has 5 contributors.
And they decided that we'll fix it after the weekend, and they forgot.
Yeah.
And now Łukasz is, of course, looking at the comments.
It's not the comments; it's the commit messages, right?
Yeah, but it's 0.0.1 beta.
I know. Okay, it's still in beta for now, but Valdi has apparently been using Snap's large production apps for the past 8 years, so it's been intensively battle tested from processing all of those unsolicited nudes and
Unsolicited.
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 Nope.
Unsolicited.
Yes, thank you. Nudes and rainbow vomit selfie filters. Oh, I love it.
And rainbow
but what
nudes.
makes it different? Sorry?
And rainbow nudes.
Don't forget that.
But what makes it different from React Native and other cross-platform frameworks? The biggest thing is that it lets you write declarative TypeScript components which compile into platform-native views that are managed by its C++ layout engine, with no web views, no JS bridge, and no React-style runtime. It also generates type-safe bindings between your TypeScript code and the native platforms, so you get automatic code generation and native API access without needing a bunch of glue code.
Wait. Do they compare? It kind of sounds like they're comparing the Valdi to the old architecture.
Well, true. The JS bridge is old architecture. True. But React style runtime is both new architecture and old architecture.
Okay.
Because like the React runtime is the thing that is like orchestrating the views in real time. Those are compiled ahead of time, I guess, into platform native views, compiled and not like managed from JS side. And then it also generates type-safe binding between your TypeScript code and the native platform, so you get automatic code generation. In React Native, you don't get that by default. You have to bridge each function. Not necessarily through JS bridge, as in old architecture, but you still have to expose by hand the things that you want to use. React Native is exposing like a bunch of those for you already. I guess here it happens automatically by default. No one had to write that. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but like it sounds like it, right? So if you want to use Camera API, you would use like external library for that in React Native. I guess they say here you directly have access to platform APIs with without needing glue code, without needing the library. We will see how that happens later.
This is exact that, because you don't need, as this is generated on the building time, not on the runtime. So if you write in your TypeScript, give me a camera access, this will be compiled to native function, give me camera access.
So this is how I read it. but Juan says, I cannot trust yet. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't feel like trust yet as well, because it sounds like a bunch of very buzzwords on top of buzzwords, and
I actually don't agree with you. I actually like, honestly, let's go. Okay, so like, this is not buzzword on top of buzzword. It's like really descriptive and like really understandable for me. You write declarative TypeScript that compile into platform native views
okay,
managed
I
by
counted 2 buzzwords.
this. What?
That's a third buzzword.
Which is a buzzword?
C++,
Declarative?
like declarative TypeScript, platform native views.
Well, all of this is just React Native buzzwords. It's not
But still,
like,
yeah, I don't know. It's just
okay,
if you
buzzwords
would
start here.
if you would show me that without one of those sentences, without context, I would assume that, oh, you are talking about React Native, right? And we're like, haha, nope, it's about Valdi.
Yeah, okay. So like buzzword starts here. Smarter rendering. That's a buzzword for me. That's like
Fair enough, yeah.
it uses automatic view recycling, viewport aware rendering, and an optimized layout engine to minimize redraws. Okay. Web style DX. It comes with instant hot reload, full VS Code debugging, and TSX components with full type safety, so building native apps feels faster and more like building web apps.
So everything has to be web apps. They
I
make
guess we got
they
to that
make
point, yeah.
development of everything for web developers. So in the
Yeah.
near future, you could develop everything, like you develop web pages.
I guess, yeah. Flexible adoption, you can embed Valdi into existing UI kit or Android view hierarchies and mix in Swift. Okay. Bottom line. Okay. Okay, we got from reading the opinions from the web to this. Let's see. Valdi has been widely used. We're calling this a beta because our tools and documentation need more battle testing in open source world. Valdi will exit beta when we're happy with the developer experience. Okay. And this was written by AI because of this.
Right. Yeah.
Of this thing.
There should be also, it's not only a framework, it's a better way to write apps.
I actually know a person who used this dashes.
But how? How do you use it? Like, where is it on your keyboard?
And have you seen that person in real life, or is it? It might be just an AI bot talking to you.
Hubert,
saw
is
him.
that person here with us today?
I hope so, but I don't think so. Right?
You know what? I really love that for Valdi, their main selling point. I mean, okay, they didn't say it out loud and explicitly, but it's just like, oh, it's a great framework. We know we wrote an app with it.
Yeah, but you know, React Native has a very similar philosophy why it isn't 1.0 right now, because they think it's working. React Native is working, it's beta tested, but they're not happy with developer experience. So this is still all X because they need to focus on the releasing new versions and etc.
So how much better can it get? Like, honestly, I feel like it's just so mindlessly easy now to set up a project and start the work.
I I remember it from the React Universe Conf in Wrocław. They said explicitly that this is mainly because the releasing of new versions with React Native. Each new version of React Native is a pain in the keyboard of every developers. Like I spent few days to upgrade from one version to another.
Yeah.
So they want to make this transition from older version to new version like no brainer.
Fair enough.
There are too many breaking changes in each version. So they are laying a lot of groundwork right now. With
my
each
guess is that
to...
they will enter like React 0.99 and they will add LTE to that. Sorry, LTS. Oh my god, LTS, long time support.
Okay, let's look into this. So this is a Valdi component.
Valdi.
Component. And you might be wondering, where is a fucking return? There are no returns in Valdi. Maybe okay, there are probably returns, but there are no returns for render. Render doesn't return. Render is producing. Yes, Ryan, I'm just like talking about this. So this is actually what I read earlier, which is render is actually producing a side effect that gets compiled to TypeScript view, to native view. So this is probably just a function call to this like underlying component that does something but doesn't return. It's not returning a view. It is calling something underneath to do a side effect.
And I don't like it.
Should we look into this? Valdi core source component.
Yeah, like what's the okay, I'm gonna hold out on my opinions for a bit more because right now I'm quite annoyed, but
annoyed.
Yes,
they promised no glue code. They didn't promise no magic code.
Oh, fair enough. Because you have this like language that existed for years, and I mean here like JS and TypeScript and stuff like that.
What?
So how about we stop using the return, something that people used for years and they are accustomed to it. Let's change that because we innovate. We are so cool.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So they started doing this 8 years ago. So let me be a devil advocate for a moment, right?
Fair enough, but
they started doing this 8 years ago. And also, not every programming language has a return statement. So, for example, in ReScript, not RiaScript, although I didn't see that, so maybe we will go back to RiaScript. In ReScript, also, sometimes you wouldn't do return because it is implicitly returned.
Okay, but why? Why?
It's just like a styling choice, honestly.
I don't like that.
Okay. Hello.
Sorry,
is it Snapchat offices headquarters in California, US?
Bring back return. Return my return.
Okay. I wanted to like see what the component actually does, but I can't find it. So we will just like do a quick demo soon. So getting started guide, documentation, Codeless API reference. So like we have a bunch of documentation here. So this is getting started.
Oh! Actually, there was a very interesting point. If you could open it up, there was why choose Valdi.
Which one is?
Yeah, lower. There's why choose Valdi.
Okay.
Just one paragraph. Valdi is a cross-platform UI framework designed to solve the fundamental problem of cross-platform development, velocity versus runtime performance. For 8 years, it has powered a large portion of Snap's production apps. I still have no idea why should I choose it.
Yeah.
True native performance, okay. And we know what we are saying because we made an app with it. Sorry, it's just I don't know. Sorry for being mean, but it's 8-year-old technology. Really, it's basically, you know, when you
Sorry,
have
Ivan Spiegel, that we are being mean to you.
when you have a movie and then you are making a re-release. How is it called?
Remake?
Sequel.
Remake. Yeah, they're basically refurbishing old technology and turning that into new stuff. And I just think that when it will be presented with so many different developers with so many different needs that they don't just want to process nudes but like more stuff, that it will just fail so miserably. And I feel and I think that their issues count will blow up in upcoming weeks.
So, like, Kevin, like,
And
what
I
do I
don't want
want
to.
to say?
Sorry if I'm negative, but I'm trying to be
No,
realistic
like,
here.
I understand your point of view, and like, what we're saying right now is only because they open sourced it. You have these opinions. If you would got hired at Snapchat, they would show you this is the way we work. You have to learn it. And then you would be like, okay, I guess I have to learn it now. I
Fair enough.
interviewed for for companies that had their own internal frameworks, and they would, on the interview like session, they would explain to me, okay, so we work in TV development, and in TV development there is a lot of fragmentation. Basically every second company has their own frameworks. We use React, but not in a way that you understand, so we have to like teach you how we use React internally. We support something through like Chromium, through other layer, then we compile it to C. You know what I mean? Like, it's only so like this worked for them for 8 years. They want to open source it. Yeah.
I remember the
Sorry.
You go first.
No, you go ahead.
I remember the times when the companies thought that using framework is lock-in into some technology, so they didn't want it. So a few years ago, 10 years ago, every company had its own framework, at least in PHP or other backend development, backend languages.
I think it's all over the place, right? Like
No.
it's everywhere. Right now,
Sorry, I'm just today. I'm just being grumpy, really grumpy.
no, that's honestly fine. That's honestly fine.
I have a side story about why choose the Valdi. This
Okay.
as Łukasz said, I had 20 hours to prepare to this, so I read some community comments on that on the Valdi, and they asked the same question: why should I choose Valdi? Isn't it that Snapchat had a problem with camera, so they had a problem with Android and using camera, so the shooter was very sluggish. So instead of making a photo with the camera, they took a screenshot of the camera to make a photo.
Okay.
For real?
Yeah. And this is okay. This company had so many problems with the performance. Why we should use their framework?
What I'm showing right now on the screen is a comment from Ryan, meaning and like I agree with the comment. So I think I like seeing other approaches. I wouldn't want to have a tool that does everything in the same way. It adds diversity to development. I agree. We need diversity and we need like a marketplace of ideas, Kevin.
Okay, I am 100% behind adding new tools that do the same thing in a different way, changing concepts, changing ideas, changing architecture. But if somebody's like, oh yeah, we are innovating because in our company, when you want to commit, you don't press enter, you press space. And it's like, why? Why? That's a small change. That's meaningless change, but in the same time, it's a huge change. So why changing like those little things that didn't bother anyone?
Okay.
I don't
What
know
I will
why
do now,
it annoys me.
what I will do now, guys, is I'm gonna close all of my other windows.
Oh, preparing for
And
sharing entire screen.
I want to start working on those things. So
Yeah,
like we are 1 hour
let's
and
see
20
that.
minutes in. So I'm gonna do share the whole screen. And Hubert, you don't know how it works, but when I start sharing screen and I start cloning the repositories and building stuff, I'm gonna be dropping out and I'm gonna be laggish. So you and Kevin have to be extra
Okay.
extra
Chatty.
interesting and extra chatty.
I'm
Okay.
gonna start with sharing one very cool trick I learned recently. So there is this one issue I keep having constantly when I work, and this issue is that when I run builds on my device, audio is constantly breaking. Like it's exploding. It starts getting choppy. It starts crashing and cracking. Actually, I would say crackling. And I've been looking for a solution for quite a bit. And recently, one of my friends presented me with solution. So you just you just kill one process. You just kill core audio D on Mac, and
Look
it
at this.
basically.
Sorry. Go ahead. I wasn't listening to you, but my
Your account
account
is
is
suspended.
suspended.
Why is your
Oh
account?
no, I know what I need to do. I need to go to
What did you do?
maybe here.
Recently, I also had a conversation. So yeah, if your audio on Mac is crackling, sudo kill all core audio D, and it's gonna restart the process and give it more resources, so it will stop crackling and sound better. But the other thing I wanted to touch on, recently one of my friends brought to my attention a funny problem we currently have globally, actually. Many people are talking about the AI bubble, right?
Yeah.
And the question would be like, is it a bubble or is it not a bubble? And the problem here is that we have no idea and we have no way to check it, because more and more often we see news about people getting in trouble for hosting a bunch of bots that are just running online. So
Sorry.
let's say
If you are close to the end of the story, you can finish. But if not,
Oh,
I
yeah.
need to interrupt you.
Yeah, if I can just finish up with saying, so let's say a company wants to release a new product. There are a bunch of people who are saying that it's just a slop. We don't need that. They can just hire thousands of bots that will comment under those comments saying, oh, actually, that's a great idea. I would love to watch an entire AI-generated movie with no living people in it. So yeah, we are like, even if that's a bubble, we have no way of testing that because we are boiling and it's bubbly. That's all.
Okay. So I'm doing the steps for getting started, and I think it's interesting. That's why I stopped
Yeah.
doing that on my own. So the first step is to clone the whole repository for Snapchat Valdi, which has a shitload of things in it. Apps, compiler, docs, modules, npm modules, scripts, drawing.
They have npm modules inside the repository. Why?
Because
Because
it is beta.
Because those packages are not published on npm. So that's why I cannot install it by npm install package.
Doesn't it mean that somebody can just steal those packages and then publish them on npm?
Like probably, but like it's pretty interesting. That's why I stopped doing that. So in Valdi now I have to go to cd Valdi npm modules CLI, and then I don't know if I want to do it. For some reason, if something is published on npm, I do npm install something, and like I don't think twice about it. But if someone has a huge repository and like navigate to this specific folder and then run this script, I'm hesitant.
And then flush the toilet and close the doors and cover your eyes.
Okay, so I'm installing this.
I remembered like it was half an hour ago, but I think that someone half an hour ago said that this is a client code released as open source framework.
Yeah.
It looks like client code.
And then set up the development environment, which says nothing. Like Valdi dev setup, that's such a weird command.
You know what? The more I see that, the more I feel like they decided internally, that's why the comments say internal change, internally that, oh, let's release it as an open source. And they were like, yeah, sure, why not? And somebody misunderstood and they just clicked, yeah, public, and they informed the press. And then they just went ahead with that. And now the devs are sitting being like, wait, why there are so many people giving us stars? This should be a private repo. Like we are not public yet. And somebody's like,
oh, how many stars do they have?
Yeah, we published on Friday. On Friday.
How many stars? 8,000. Okay.
So it is 1,000 more than yesterday.
And when did they release? A week ago?
On
yeah,
7th.
almost.
7th.
7th. Okay. Somebody is going through the entire node modules and preparing a huge article about vulnerabilities they released.
And hacking my machine.
Yeah. Yeah. Why are they bottling so many things?
Okay, I'm installing things that I don't know what they do.
Did those scripts run homebrew?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like this.
It's a homebrew, yeah.
Yeah.
And those are installed in your machine, not in the local directory.
Yes.
Of course.
So your computer is infected.
I know.
Oh, it's installing Node. So it's actually making an entire setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is not necessary at all.
Oh no, Łukasz, no.
What?
It installed new like JDK versions. Oh, if you are doing some work for the client tomorrow, you will have a bunch of reinstalling to do.
Oh, probably not.
I'm not so sure.
It's Friday, so
tomorrow is. Oh yeah.
Yeah. If something can break on Friday, it will.
But like, this is not the developer experience that I like to see.
That's why it's
the
0.0.1
yeah.
beta.
This like Valdi dev setup with just one line of comment shouldn't install all of those things. I'm a developer. I probably have 95% of those things already installed. And if the versions don't align, just let me know. I'm gonna install the versions myself with like SDK helper or like notes. What's the tooling
Oh,
for?
you need to give a password because it's
Node
actually
version manager.
it's actually changing your OpenJDK version.
And it fucked.
Yep, it didn't install the Android platform.
And it hanged on it. So I'm not sure if it's gonna run.
This is another time I have the feeling this is just the environment they created for their developers. So it's easy for newcomer to install the development. One
On the
comment
clean
and I
machine.
can start. Yeah.
Not
One
on the
comment I
machine
can
that already
start
has.
Or maybe internally they have a culture of working on virtual machines.
Maybe. AA?
Although I wouldn't.
Max, what are you saying? Like, what's your issue? Max. Okay, valid bootstrap issue. Get returned. Okay. Error. Okay. What next? Build did not complete. Error. Install simulated argument. I can run the project. It's so weird to use onRender event method without returning.
And it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
What is this is so funny. This is so funny that someone comes into like the framework that was released few days ago and like it officially says this is our style guide, like we do it this way, and someone files an issue saying you guys are dumb, you shouldn't be doing this. Like,
do you know how much time how much time can you save from not writing return?
Well, we know it feels weird for React developers. This important distinction between Valdi and React enables key rendering optimization. It makes it possible for the Valdi renderer to control more of the render path, which make use of to avoid unnecessary work on the incremental renders. One of the fundamental concepts in Valdi is called a render function, which is a function that returns void and has TSX expression in its body, and it's evaluated at some point during the render process. The somewhat equivalent in React is called React element, but in React they are objects created earlier by parent and then diffed. In Valdi, render functions are evaluated exactly at the place where they are meant to emit. So if a parent passes children to a child, the render function gets actually evaluated by the child, and the diff happens inline internally within Valdi. Okay, I understood shit, but yeah.
So it sounds like instead of
quite interesting.
Sorry, yeah, it sounds like instead of using Callstack to like add and remove children from the stuff, they just return voids. So they remove that stuff, but they like somehow take those HTML elements and they're just squishing them into evals. So kind of sounds like they are using different elements of how JS works, because eval is triggered on Callstack, or does eval trigger on like micro tasks or something like that?
Yeah, I didn't know, but like I don't. This is not what I get from this.
This should be documented.
Yeah, probably it is. Like they have a bunch of MDs, right? Okay. Trade-offs before. So like I guess bootstrap issues, Valdi bootstrap, but I get the following error. Okay, let's see if my setup worked. Okay, so What? Where should I go? Install Valdi. Okay, I guess let's
Let's
say
say.
that I installed it. So I'm gonna go to the root of my Valdi uppercase, and then I'm gonna do
I'm gonna
exactly
go to the root
this,
of my Valdi.
and then cd my project, and then Valdi bootstrap. Let's see how that goes.
Yay!
Do you want to create a new project in the current directory? Yes. I do.
Do you want to
choose
pass all of your possessions to Snapchat company? Yes.
What I want, an application rendering UI in a window on iOS, Android, and macOS, a command line application that runs in terminal.
UI application, of course.
UI application.
I know, but that second one is so weird as well.
Why not use Bash for that?
Because you have a new exciting framework. And they know what they are doing.
Yeah,
they wrote
right.
an app with that.
Yeah, I guess like my confusion is this is a new UI cross-platform framework that in the first step of bootstrapping asks you, do you want to have a new cross-platform UI app or terminal app?
Yeah, or CLI. Fair enough. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do
I
this.
want a CLI app on my phone.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually would love to have that.
There are some terminals for your phone. Provide a name for this project. My project sounds great. Okay.
Very
Bazel.
informative.
I know, like, I've heard name Bazel.
You should have named it internal project to go hand to hand with their comments. Yeah, I remember Bazel as well. Isn't that like C++ thingy? I feel like it's a C++ compiler. I might be completely wrong.
I don't know what it is, but I'm running Bazel command. Bazel query.
Looks like it's build tool for Java, C++, Go, Android, and iOS. Multilingual magic, simplest, scalable, endlessly extensible. It's fast and correct. It's of course.
They have a bunch of Bazel files at the top of the repository. Okay, let me close this. 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 Let me close this and 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 this.
I'm checking something really quick because inside the Bazel they have this who is using Bazel, and I'm checking if they have Snap. Is Snap the Snap the developer of Snapchat messaging app? Wait, what? Oh, Snap is the company behind Snapchat.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, they do. They migrated to Bazel in 2020 from Buck.
So we know that this framework isn't created 8 years ago. It is live product as they moved.
So the Android NDK home environment failed.
Yeah, because they weren't able to.
Before.
Yeah, because they weren't able to set up properly OpenJDK because you already have some paths pointing to OpenJDK, and they most probably add. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, but I think Hubert is completely right that their setups are just for you have a new developer and you just run the script and it's properly set up. But so for the next stream, Łukasz will format his Mac and bring it to Fabric condition, Fabric what?
Factory.
Factory. Yeah, sorry, factory. I meant fabrika from Polish, and it's a fabric. So to factory settings, and then the scripts will run exactly as we need them.
Let's try to run it again.
Oh yeah, let's brute force it.
Good idea.
No, but like what I did in doing that is it failed instantly. It didn't try, like it. I guess it's like it found out that like I already have all of those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
the
it failed
OpenJDK
only on one.
And OpenJDK is failing because I bet because you already have your OpenJDK.
How do I check that?
Looks like.
Do you have Android Studio on your computer?
Yeah.
So you have OpenJDK probably.
Java version. Okay, I have 17.
And they try to install 11.
Okay.
11. I'm not hating. I'm not saying anything. I'm just surprised.
Okay, no such file as directory. SDK manager.
There was some brew install something before that. Go up.
Yeah, it's this.
Reinstall.
Go up.
That's bold.
Brew reinstall. Open JDK.
Okay, so my personal take is that this is not framework. Like in React,
look, Open JDK is already installed and up to date. And then I don't have SDK manager. Let's open Android Studio.
It's weird that with installing so many side things, they didn't install the SDK manager. I'll make sure it's not some, private stuffs you are displaying.
I remember that when I set up the environment for Android a few months ago, this was a tricky part to install SDK manager. It's not hard, but it's not one-line command. You had to do some tricky stuff there. So probably it's failing here. You have also your SDK manager, but probably in other directory.
Yeah. So inside, okay. No such file or directory. So I just need to like do this. Android 35. Let's do Android 35 from here.
What number do we have now?
But I do have 35. It's installed.
Yeah, but you don't have the SDK manager. So I guess they are trying to check with SDK manager if you have this. So try maybe and install the SDK manager for.
No. Let's do this. So they are trying to run this command. Users Lukasz library Android SDK MCD line tools latest
CDN.
bin. Okay. And I don't have that, right? So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do go up. So it's users. Okay, I can just do the command.
Do you remember the fight over the internet if the React is framework or library?
Yeah.
I would propose a similar discussion. Is Valdi a framework or a development environment?
What's the difference? Let's establish some ground rules.
Framework is something that you install
Okay,
in
so
the
I don't have this
directory.
CMD line. I don't have this. What I do
Łukasz,
have, yeah,
I would like to bring your attention to our studio, please, for a second.
to our studio. What's our studio? Well, look at that. Hello, hello. Good morning,
Hello,
sir.
hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Exciting
Hi.
How are
day.
you
The
today?
new frameworks. I am
Yep,
okay
every week.
every week. You think AI will just keep making frameworks?
I guess so, yeah.
Keep us talking.
You know what we did until this point? We were going over the. Let me bring this to the table. We're going over some docs of Valdi, and
Mhm.
like they have a bunch of documentation already, which is good. All of that is on GitHub, which is not as good as probably they could like move it to like a proper documentation website like Docusaurus or something,
Mhm.
just for us to like, easier navigate. And we started doing the initialization of the
Yeah.
project,
Okay.
and the first thing already failed. So in order to like use this, they didn't publish this on npm. So it's all one Git clone repository.
Okay.
Then you have to install this not through npm install, but through some kind of script, npm run, the
Interesting.
script for CLI, and then it does the Valdi dev setup. And what dev setup does, it is basically trying to install all of the things that I would have like different commands listed in regular readmes. Here it tries to do it by script, and it fails on OpenJDK.
It does really feel like somebody explicitly said, yeah, let's turn Valdi into an open source framework, but
Tomorrow.
But
implicitly
tomorrow.
but implicitly they meant let's start working on turning that into open source framework that will have a nice and enter
yeah.
into the open source platforms. But somebody misunderstood that and they said, okay, yeah, I just click publish. And because they published that on Friday.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
So that's fun. That's fun. So I guess we will. I don't want to be like fighting with the setup. Maybe I will do the setup on my own during
Sorry,
the weekend.
guys, to interrupt you, but I have to go. So Matt is joining. I'm leaving.
Thanks
thank
so
you.
much for joining.
and it's not
You're
personal. It's not personal.
No
I
worries.
announced that before. There is no space for four of us. Sorry, I have to go.
There is. Go do your things. Thanks for joining.
Thank you
Yeah, thanks,
thank you
Hubert.
for invitation. Thank you for
Bye.
attention. This was fun. I look forward to another meeting.
Yeah.
It was fun for us as well.
Bye. Thank
Great
you.
having you.
Oh, I need to like remove him from the stream.
There we
You're
go.
removed, Hubert.
Oh,
There it
okay.
goes.
Yeah, so Matt, to bring you up to speed, our current suspicions are that those scripts were prepared for new developers, and by new developers we meant literally new developers, that they hire a new person and they tell
Right.
them just run those scripts and they will install everything, because those scripts are actually running homebrew. And
Sure.
they're installing OpenJDK from scratch. They're reinstalling a bunch of dependencies, and they basically failed because Łukasz has his own like OpenJDK versions, and he doesn't have the SDK manager. But it's kind of weird that with so many things that they are installing, they forgot about adding the SDK manager.
Well, listen. So like, I probably like 30 minutes on my own in focus time, I could make it run. I would like read what it does under the hood. I would probably like
Sure.
install all of that on my own, see if I have the correct paths set up. But it's not a good first time experience. You remember how we did Lynx 9 months ago, and they had like 2 commands. You install the Explorer, and you fire up the bundle, and that's all. And like it works.
Oh,
It's not
actually,
perfect
Łukasz,
because like with the Explorer, it's not your application, so you cannot publish it. But it's a first good step into trying out what's different about this one.
Łukasz, I have a suggestion. Actually, not me. Danny has a suggestion. He says, time to open an issue on their GitHub. And
That's
I
right.
feel like this would be actually a very good way to turn that into a learning opportunity to show people how we should open new issues on GitHub to be as informative and how, Łukasz, show them how masters do it.
Yeah.
So I'm not even logged in to that GitHub.
Oh,
Interestingly, there's currently only 21 issues right now.
because
And one of them-
nobody is able to run the project.
Well, yeah, but I think that you have a really good point, which is like when you see things like this, even if you don't have time to submit a PR to fix it, you can at least like file an issue to say like, I just noticed this, I don't have time to fix it, just so you know. Because if people don't have a feedback loop, they can't get better. Obviously, if they knew about this, they would have fixed it already. So it's in a blind spot of theirs for some reason. So I think it is a good reminder for folks where it's like if you see like missing documentation, even if you aren't trying to fill in the little green squares on your GitHub profile or whatever, it's good to give constructive feedback so that if no one else has, especially if no one else has reported it, being the 900th person to say like, hey, you forgot to put a period here in your README markdown or whatever, is maybe not when to activate that. But I think this is all really great feedback, and I agree with your supposition there that this looks like it was internal employee onboarding docs that got slightly cleaned up and made external. And that they're kind of maybe relying on the community to be the feedback loop if they don't have a professional technical documentation person.
Yeah, my assumption
but that
is
might be. Go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, that they also most probably had before you set this up. You should also set up Android Studio Xcode in this and that way.
I will yes and your supposition and say that I'll bet that their default corporate laptop image already has it installed, and that's why it's not in
However,
in this list.
Łukasz, can you scroll up a bit? They have macOS setup guide prerequisites.
Fuck. It's third sentence. Maybe I didn't do this.
Yeah, setting up Xcode. I was right.
All right.
Fuck. Did I?
Nice.
Okay.
That's
but
a
like
bunch
this is
of
the same
prerequisites.
command though.
Set up JDK path.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Yeah, let's do
Oh, you
this.
want to do all of that?
Yeah. It's fine.
That's a bunch of prerequisites.
You can just paste it in. So like it'll.
Yeah. It's not
It's
like
probably
I
not going to
need
be mining cryptocurrency on your laptop and for the next 10 years. Probably.
Let's
might
hope.
be.
Let's hope.
So Homebrew. Add Homebrew to your path. I already have Homebrew.
Okay.
Yep.
What's the autoload? What's that?
At the following topic was ZSHRC to set up autocomplete. Wait, what?
Yeah, it reads like onboarding docs, internal employee onboarding docs, which isn't bad, by the way. Like, it's not any like disrespect, but.
Oh, also, Matt, I'm gonna share with you our because we started thinking why suddenly so many companies are releasing their internal frameworks and turning them into open source. Because we have Lynx, here we have Valdi. I assume there must be a couple more behind, like Solito as well. But okay, Solito has been existing for quite a bit, I think. But my assumption is that by open sourcing your framework, Because now we are in the age of AI, right? Everyone is using AI to 10x their developers, but and I can confirm it doesn't work. If AI doesn't know the library it's supposed to help with, it will just be a problem and an issue. And what would be cheaper, looking from company perspective, releasing your internal framework to be open source and get a bunch of publicity, bunch of developers forming issues and improving your tool, plus bunch of companies that are making and preparing those types of AI agents will be able to train their agents on your framework, and in return, you basically like it's a win-win-win situation. So they can release stuff, and then their developers get for free, basically in some time, tools to, because just because they made an app doesn't mean they are specialists in training AI models that will help developers with programming, right?
Yeah, I so there's definitely a thing now where it's like, I don't think search engine optimization, SEO, I don't think it's dead, but the way that you make people aware of, especially in the from a technical marketing perspective, the way you make people aware of something is now to like how you get agents trained on it. So the agent will suggest it when someone says, I want to make a cupcake programming app or whatever, that it'll suggest Valdi. And the first step in that is to make it public in the first place and try to make sure you're in the same conversation, or you're in the same evaluation context as LynxJS, React Native, and whatever else.
And not to mention, without having their framework public, they have no easy way to cash in on that MCP market.
Yeah, I mean, an MCP in the app framework itself.
I mean that, you know, having MCP that will be able to like teach other agents to use the framework, for instance. Because I'm still kind of vague on how MCPs work. My like long-term vision is that in the future, instead of Googling stuff, you'll be just asking your agent, and the agent will go to the MCP market and it will learn about stuff to tell you. And so yeah, it's weird times now, but it's fun.
Well, with Claude and ChatGPT and Perplexity, if you choose to use Perplexity, all these things search the open web now, and so it's not like it was just 3 or 4, 6 months ago, where it's like the model could only tell you about stuff it was trained on during its training window, and so we all kept hitting this thing where it's like, you're asking about something after October of 2022. I don't know anything about that. The models don't do that now. Like, they all search the web and get updated information. And so, which is possibly even more important than the reasoning or thinking aspect of the models. Like, but together it's really dynamite. But so it doesn't need to be in the training data necessarily for the model to tell you about it. It can search the open web, but you have to be asking a question where it thinks that'll be a good answer for you.
On one hand, yes, but from what I learned about how AI works, it still will be a huge difference between a model that takes in context clues from basically glorified system prompt, because that's what searching through web is. It's not retraining the weights. And like the result will still have a different quality than a model that, because I really like to compare how AI works with how humans work, right? So in my opinion, when AI is skimming through the internet, searching through information, it's like if you have a person who read through a pamphlet once against the person who went through a pamphlet, you know, hundreds of times and just memorized everything. I know that it's super powerful to have models go through internet now, but still making your framework available for other people to just fetch and train the models explicitly on the framework, so the new agent is master of Valdi, it will be still more powerful than a model that's just, oh yeah, I saw something called Valdi, I can, fetch the entire code base into the context right now, which will not really work that well.
Well, I think that one thing is that I think a lot of the training data, it's not like Valdi is a wholly different programming language with a wholly different universe of computer science or JavaScript syntax or anything. Most of the things that make it unique are sort of hypothetically hidden from the user, right? You're still writing declarative code in a certain sort of React-like way. Or XAML, because React didn't invent it either, and neither did Microsoft with XAML. But so it's definitely I would guess that there are some models that would not be able to adapt to a new React-based framework, no matter how close it was. But GPT-5 Pro and
I'm sorry.
Not found.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing so hard, but it looks like just copying the commands broke something.
No. It broke. Yes. So like
what the fuck?
now I don't have Valdi anymore, but I also don't have NPM all of the sudden.
It looks like you overwrote your ZSHRC.
Yeah, your ZSHRC line 133 command not found the fuck. I hope we don't get in trouble for being not age appropriate now. But it was already on the screen, so we were already in trouble.
No, but like the fuck is the great library. Do you know the fuck?
I'm curious. Is it one of those things where
it autocorrects you?
What?
Corrects your previous console command.
I had no idea this was a thing.
So like no command found, did you mean something? And then you write fuck, and then like it autocorrects.
I knew the fuck.
But like, why does it not work? Or maybe I did something weird.
No, well, look at the command, the one that is at the top of the terminal. It looks like you. Here. No, even higher.
Yeah.
It looks like
reload.
Higher.
Yeah, scroll up slightly.
Slightly. Scroll up slightly. This one. Didn't you just override your ZSHRC?
No, it's because it's two greater thans that should append to the end.
Yeah. But it's here.
Yeah, but definitely it's saying on line 111. After it hits that problem on line 111 of your Z shell RC file, it is not going to continue. And so I'm going to guess that that's why anything else that would have appended to your path doesn't happen after that. Like, that won't happen after that point.
I think this is the problem.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah. And then I can just do reload. And reload is my own command. Nope.
Yep.
TR
found.
TR.
TR is a standard built-in Unix thing. TR TD awk said. Again, it seems like the path is completely screwed up for some reason.
So I added this.
Yeah, so I'm really sorry, Łukasz, for joking about that earlier, but looks like your Friday is going to be spectacular because I'm not sure if you will be able to work without NPM and simple stuff like that.
Definitely not. But then like command not found. So like
so let's go to you did reload.
It didn't even find the make directory.
But this is not my file.
Do me a favor. Type echo space $home HOME. Because I think that that looks correct. There's some other fundamental environment variable here that's gotten messed up, and so
let's just do this.
Oh wait, looked like you were. Go back with that.
What do you mean?
Wait, look at that. You
What?
are overriding the path a couple of times.
Yeah, but he's using $path in there, so it
No,
Yeah.
above.
online.
Android
Yep, there you
SDK
go. Line
platform
121
tools.
and 122. Yep. And it looks like
And
yeah,
below.
But you know what?
Below,
This used to work. Like, this
sure,
is
of course
my
it did.
file. I've
Below
used
as
that
well.
file.
Oh, okay, that's
line
weird then.
121 and 122 looks like they should be removed because
Oh
it
no,
looks,
I'm sorry. It was appending instead of it was appending.
Oh yeah.
So
it
it's
works.
line 121 where it's wiping out.
Łukasz, you have close that. You have a token, GitHub pad token inside the RC.
Too
Okay.
late.
Too late.
Whoops.
I can change that.
Yes, you can, and you should.
Yeah.
As soon as you can.
Let's.
But also
let's
don't do that. Don't do that on stream.
Kishan, thank you so much for pointing it out.
I'm
We
gonna
wouldn't
remove
notice
that one right now.
So yeah, folks, at the beginning of the stream, I mentioned and I said out loud, things can go south very fast and very harsh.
Like this?
Like Łukasz broke his entire setup.
Yeah. Lukash, what you probably need to do now, because once your path was overwritten the first time, where it doesn't have /bin, it doesn't have the standard macOS stuff, close this shell and open a new one. And I am willing to bet it will be fixed. Because we saw in the Z shell, it was completely wiping out the path. It wasn't appending properly. Now type ls or sure.
Okay, it works.
There we go. Yeah, so the first time you were assigning path and you weren't appending the previous path to it, your original path, including all the fundamental operating system path stuff, was wiped out. And then every time after that, you were just appending to that path that was already poisoned.
By the way, it's kind of funny that because I feel like the path are like the paths inside ZSH-RC are being used so many times. It's surprising that we still don't have a little bit abstracted function that just keeps track of those paths and helps to avoid those problems.
I mean, what was good in 1972 is good enough for now, I guess.
I feel like this is the type of problem. Like some time ago, I was talking with my wife about that there are some types of issues that annoy you extremely when they are there. Like for instance, with those headphones, I always have a problem with like the sound, and then you are annoyed for 5 minutes on the call, and then you fix the problem and you forget about that, and you have the same problem, at the beginning of each call.
So I still don't have
years.
that. It still wants to take my SDK manager for Android from the folder that does not exist. And I do have an SDK manager. I do have an Android Studio. It's just in another folder. So like the script that I'm trying to run is like hard coding this command line tools that I don't have.
Type set SET in the shell. Type SET space pipe.
Pipe.
No,
This?
No. The vertical line.
The vertical, yeah.
Shift backslash.
Shift backslash. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Pipe. I'm sorry. I'm old, so I use old terminology. grep, GREP. And then what is it? CMD
line tools.
Yeah.
Command
just
line
type
tools.
CMD line and see if it's in there somewhere. Enter. Yep. Okay, so it's not in any environment variable.
Yeah.
It might be semi-hard coded here in their script somewhere.
Yeah.
And what they should be doing is using brew ls to find the real path where it lives, probably.
So that's actually kind of weird. But wait, if you have an Android Studio and you install command line tools, then you must have it under, like, Android Studio installs everything according to the convention, right? So it should be under the same folder.
Oh, actually, that's a really good. Well, that what you said made me think of something, which is there's Android Studio, and then there's the command line tools, and those are two different packages you need to install. Just like with Xcode, you can install Xcode the app, and then there's the Xcode command line tools separate installable package. So you might need to open your SDK Manager GUI and go in there and make sure that command line tools is checked. So if you click on the gear in the bottom left of the Android Studio thing there's a gear in the bottom left, I think. And then you can go to... I don't work in this every day, so...
and on the second screen, revoke your access token.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Okay.
I'm doing that right now. I'm checking if the key that I will just delete it. I'm deleting all of my keys. I'm gonna redo them tomorrow.
Which, but for public service announcement, is not a bad thing to do once a year. Just go revoke all your SSH keys and regenerate new ones, just in case. You know, something got leaked somewhere. So if you click on the SDK Tools tab in the middle, there you go. And is this where the command line tools are listed? I don't do this every day, so I don't have this workflow memorized.
Yeah, this is the kind of things you do only when you are like
set up a new machine,
set up new machine for your specific development environment, and like you are living with this environment for the next 3 years or something.
But I do understand now what they meant when they said that they feel like Valdi is not yet like prepared for a good DX.
Oh yeah, it's better, right? It's better.
0.0.1 beta.
So
well, like I mean, I remember like React Native when it was first released came in kind of hot as well. And there's no disrespect to anybody. It was still like that doing open source was kind of not necessarily still explicitly staffed at that time. Like React was open sourced almost by accident because it's just open source wasn't explicitly staffed basically at all at that time at Facebook. And so yeah, this does seem a little bit rickety, but I would say that for any more junior people that are watching the live stream, this is where you can get visibility in the ecosystem really early. And I think Mike Grabowski would tell you the same, where just like if you can just like go in there, figure stuff out and fix the documentation so other people don't give up, then you can get visibility in an early ecosystem.
You know what? Maybe what it is so they want me, and I did that in the steps for macOS setup. They want me to install the build tools version 34, and I have, as it stands right now, a bunch of them, right? Like build tools, a lot of them. So maybe I will just keep only the, and then NDK, the 34, and then I will apply.
Yeah. And I think I noticed they're looking for NDK 25, which is quite old. Even React Native, which is pretty far behind, is on NDK 27.
But I still don't have this folder here. The CMD line tools. I have the build tools. I have the.
Can you do an LS
tools
in the partial path? You just did. Yeah. So in this platform tools, or you can do a find here. Do a find, FIND space dot. Yeah, pretty close.
By the way, sorry.
Oh, dash name quote SDK manager unquote.
This one?
Yep. See if it's anywhere in there. Nope, it's not. So it's not just that the that path is wrong. It's like it's not present in there right now.
That's weird.
It's also that now I realize that maybe they also decided to release Valdi because under the hood they are basically parsing and transforming the TypeScript into the native components, right? Using Swift and Kotlin. And now Kotlin released the Jetpack, right? So I assume they will have to switch from like compiling TypeScript from Kotlin to the Jetpack. So maybe that's why they released, so somebody will offload that task, like open source.
I do have command line tools as a folder. So I'm just gonna do this.
There you go.
I'm just gonna work around the issue.
There you fucking go. Yep. No shame.
And then let's do this again.
Nope.
We got it. CMD Tools latest bin SDK manager. So under there, you need to make a latest folder. Yep. You got it. This is the exact kind of stuff where it's like, if you're willing to be at peace with tedium, with this kind of tediousness, you can get really cool stuff done. Because most people just, once they hit the first roadblock, they go, never mind this, and then they move on to something else.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
it's just
Look
the
at this.
persistence.
Dev setup completed.
Yeah, it was so easy and so nice. Also, by the way, no wonder people so often have like imposter syndrome.
Yeah, if you have to be.
Yeah, I mean that, after so many years of experience, like struggling with just like making a setup for something, it would hit even the hardest ego and confidence.
I would say
now,
definitely, like there's definitely a skill about being okay with feeling dumb a lot of the time. And I just think it's part of being on the bleeding edge and being an innovator, is that you're doing stuff that there's no documentation for. You've got to figure it out, and until you figure it out, you are not feeling smart in those moments. But then you get somewhere first before everybody else does, and I would say that's just a good emotional skill to have, is to be okay with things take practice, things take time. When people are really impatient and then they kind of go with the easiest, shortest path possible. Maybe that's great for some people. I don't know.
Okay.
But,
Matt, this is also funny. We've been here before as well. So
okay.
What I'm doing right now is I'm running a Valdi bootstrap, which is basically like React Native init or something. So do you want to create a new project in the current directory? Oh yeah, I do want to do that.
And you're not in your SDK directory anymore, right?
No.
I see you're in my project. Okay.
Which kind of project do you want to create with this new UI framework? Do you want to create a UI application for iOS, Android, and macOS? Or do you want to create a CLI application?
So there's
in a terminal.
Yeah, there's an interesting thing where people are using React to drive text user interfaces, especially for LLMs like Codex and Claude. So it's not as crazy as it sounds, but probably what we care about is the UI application.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just funny how this feels again like a leftover from their master CLI bootstrapping CLI for a bunch of things where like 99, like all of the users that are trying this project right now, we want to like create a mobile app.
Yeah.
Some people might be wanting to make a command line app. Again, like thinking about the LLM case where the LLM, you're using the LLM to drive Valdi to make some command line stuff. There's a lot of people that are making a lot of command line tools.
It failed again.
Fetching local JDK, starting Can you scroll up a little bit? I can't quite. What the hell is even now putting this? Fail if.
Oh, I
an
don't
Android
have the
NT.
variable. I used to have
Oh.
it, but then I had
Okay.
to close it.
Easy fix. Easy fix.
So let me do the NDK.
One thing I'd point out is this whole like environment thing. Think about how many years, like we have this in React Native with the doctor command, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
Right? React Native doctor just says like, hey, this path isn't present, or it'll just fix it for you or whatever. Think about how many years it took for React Native doctor to like really get all the sharp corners off of this initial setup. It took quite some time. And that's not any disrespect to anybody. It's just that there's a lot of computing environments out there and a lot of laptops with people don't use Z shell. They use corn shell or they use bash instead of Z shell or whatever. There's a bunch of things you have to accommodate. It takes time.
That's kind of why I said like 3 or 4 weeks ago that I feel like React and React Native, that those two frameworks are built on hate and pain and annoyance. And so many people like, dragging themselves through hell and mud and everything to finally be like, you know what, I'm just gonna fix it for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's I worked at smaller companies where we deployed React Native, and at larger companies where we had to onboard hundreds of global developers in React Native. And a big part of being able to do that was working with folks like Callstack and this.labs to improve the community tooling, just so our internal developers that were using the community tooling had a better feedback loop so that we could even support them in a scalable way as we operationalized React Native across those hundreds of developers. And at least 50% of those developers didn't speak English at all, not even as like a second language, really. And so it was really challenging. So yeah, I'd say that if there's a strategic reason to be adopting like a newer framework like Valdi or like LynxJS or whatever, there's it's okay if this one-time setup is, if you're taking notes, and we have this live stream to reference later as like a to-do list or whatever. But I would say that for people, enterprise people, or in the kind of Fortune 500 or Fortune 100 or whatever, none of this should be like, oh, this isn't ready for me to deploy to 100 engineers. It just means that some work will need to be contributed upstream, probably for that to be an efficient thing for you to do. And it might be that there's that Valdi's approach to sort of transpiling directly into native is such a strategic advantage for your particular application that it's still just worth it. And so like it was worth it. The helping in small ways the React Native community and the React community mature, in 2014 with React and in 2016 with React Native, absolutely was a profitable enterprise. Was a profitable endeavor in terms of the developer productivity uplift, and then also the performance of those products that users could see.
How much do you understand from the statement transpiling, compiling TSX declarative views into native views? How is this different from what React Native does?
React Native doesn't do it in an ahead of time compile.
So
in
React Native, we have the representation of the view of native primitives. They are already there in the code base on the native side, and we manipulate them through runtime React code. That is like a counterpart for that native part. We have the JSX counterpart for it, and we manipulate native nodes through React runtime.
Yep.
How would you explain it's done on the Valdi's thing?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good question. And just like it took us a minute to understand what was unique about Lynx, not that what was the major differentiator with Lynx. We had to kind of like read through the docs and look at the code. And so it's just like when we did the Lynx live stream 8 or 9 months ago or whenever that was. It's early here, and I have not like memorized all the Valdi code, but here's my understanding of it is that when you write something in TSX files, like in JSX, where you can use like tags, like text, and that declarative style, it needs to like translate that using Babel and a Babel plugin into plain old JavaScript, which is like React.create element, whatever. And then it puts that into a React Native renderer. So during there's the app runtime, but there's also what does the developer need to do? How much workload is there on the developer side to even compile the JavaScript to even get into that point? And something I'm kind of noticing lately is more people are kind of thinking about, well, if the developer has to waste 1% battery life on like a 1-character change just to run it in the simulator, run it on a device, people are thinking about that part of it as well, which is good because that helps parallel LLMs running on your laptop as well. And so being able to, in a very efficient way, compile that declarative code into Hermes or JavaScript core bytecode, and then translate that directly into native Kotlin, where it doesn't talk across an async bridge. It doesn't have to go through those layers. And it doesn't have to, use that core React set timeout call, which limits your updates to 30 hertz. There's a bunch of efficiencies that kind of come out of that potentially. Does it actually show up when you have an integrated app and you really are looking really closely at the app runtime performance? I think I haven't personally done the test. No one's paid me to do that. But it's really important, this kind of efficiency, when you're running on devices like these. These are the Snap Spectacles. And all the compute is inside this. It doesn't like connect to a phone to do its compute. And so what I've found in the kind of mixed reality and spatial computing apps that we've been building is that React sort of core set timeout updates loop and the amount of garbage collection it incurs and all this other stuff is, in my opinion, incompatible with 120 FPS VR. It's just too much overhead to deal with. And we found it to be too much overhead when I was at Roblox and we ported React into Lua as well. For the Lua VM, the garbage collection overhead was just kind of a killer. And even if it's not a killer, it's like on an iPhone 15 or whatever, it's still a drag.
It's doing Hermes. Like I started iOS project build or whatever, and I just saw that they are downloading Hermes.
Yep, they're using Hermes to create the bytecode, and I don't know if they're using the JIT part of Hermes or if they've developed their own ahead of time native conversion compiler or not. But the good thing is that they aren't making something new. Just like it was kind of nice that LynxJS didn't make an entirely new JavaScript runtime. They used the existing QuickJS runtime and made small tweaks to it. I think that that's not a bad thing necessarily. I think that there's a lot of good competition, like from our live stream last week. I think there's a lot of good competition on the JavaScript runtime side, and that making a new JavaScript runtime just to say that you did, which some corporations might view as great technical marketing for their I don't know, for whatever reason. I think that between Hermes and JavaScript Core and V8 and QuickJS and a few of the other ones, I think that each of them have enough of a unique perspective that you can probably gently enhance one for your needs and upstream it rather than make a whole new VM. So it's great that they are reusing some existing inventory and are taking it in a different sort of direction. Like they aren't just making another spin on React Native here. They do have a fundamental difference. Just like LynxJS is its multiple JavaScript VMs, one on each thread, is unique and interesting, and they do it to hit performance. Like they've got very informed reasons from a product development perspective and a user retention perspective for doing it. And so I'm very interested to see Snap's what they've come up with engineering wise to get that same awesome performance that leads to great user retention. Because I think that they probably have their own interesting perspective that is unique on it.
Yeah. So what happens in my terminal is I run the what's the command? Okay,
It's
the
still
command
setting up
was-
everything?
No. It's the Valdi install iOS right now, and I guess it downloads some things and it compiles. I guess it's like a native compilation going on right now. Not sure if it's gonna work, but like I'm going through the install some more. So in order to have the hot reload, you have to like run this command once your app is already running, and then developer environment setup. So I have VS Code already, launch VS Code. I already have the code command, so that's good. Restart your terminal, and then install Valdi extension. I'm not sure like what's the directory that I should run this from.
It's a great question.
Is it
I assume it's the checkout. Well, do a find. It might be in some subdirectory. They don't tell you what your current working directory needs to be for that to work, but you can do a find in the place where you've initialized the
I guess this is other, and then Valdi. I guess it's here. Find dot name
dash name. And
and
then I forget
it's what was it?
Forget what it was.
It was install extensions.
There you go. Yep, with a star on the end.
Okay.
There it is.
So it's here.
Oh, it is right
It's
there.
in
Okay, yeah.
Val-
You're in your library directory from trying to get the Android command line tools to work.
No, that's the uppercase Valdi. It's my folder that I created to like keep all of the things Valdi related here, and then in CD Valdi, this is their GitHub repository, like the whole like root of the repository.
Okay. Jesus Christ. All right.
So
okay.
So I'm installing the extension, and again, like as with the libraries, the extension should just be there in the VS Code Finder. I shouldn't have to install the extension with the command.
And I think this is another thing where I think this is another clue that maybe this is employee onboarding docs that have been slightly cleaned up. And that's like, you got to start from somewhere. And if it's like docs that lots of internal employees have gone through, so they're sort of okay. There are worse starting points for sure. I would actually really love to.
But then, if you look at this, it's not one extension. Like
it's a number.
My VS Code is set up for my use case. I don't want their Prettier JS extension. Maybe I have something else.
Seems kind of forceful.
Yeah, they should set up like a separate profile or something like that, because you can do that in Xcode, right?
Yeah, that's
sorry,
cool.
not in Xcode, in VS Code.
So that's the extension. And then open any TypeScript file, and then I have to select TypeScript version. Okay. Let me walk you through what I have in the repository. What do you say?
Okay.
So that's the fresh project.
Can you bump the font size up a little bit?
Yep.
There we go. Thank you.
So that's the fresh project. I have README. Demo of Hello World app using Valdi open source. All commands required Valdi to be available. I do have that. So get autocompletion in VS Code, which is Valdi project sync. I don't know what to think about that. That's like
right, because they will not be using like regular TypeScript autocompletion because they have a different convention of writing.
So then install iOS, install Android, install macOS. It's honestly like refreshing that they are coming with macOS straight out of the gates, and not treating this as we will add this in the next few months.
Oh, as a desktop
and the
platform.
whole
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I'm just gonna say Windows where.
It's much easier to do macOS app if you have iOS app than just like starting completely new platforms from scratch. I think
also, on Windows, I think that my perception is that a lot of folks are just like, we'll just use Electron or a web container rather than come at that from like a real native sort of perspective.
Today I'm just very picky because I'm in the weird grumpy mood. So
okay, no worries.
I'm just
I have a Windows laptop I work on all the time.
Left.
Yeah, I have a Windows laptop I work on all the time, and Michal, I submitted a PR to React Native CLI because it was not working very well on Windows at all. And so I fixed a bunch of the problems and submitted a PR, and I think Michal helped get it merged. I don't know if it got published or not. But yeah, Windows is definitely, sadly, consistently not at the forefront of what open source projects care about in terms of developer experience. And you have to make choices to reduce scope and keep things focused. So I don't blame them, but.
And then last command that we have is the hot reload, which is again something unusual because like in React Native, we take that for granted that the hot reload is just there and it works. We don't have to like turn it on with the command. But I guess here, and like this is my conjecture, we will not have a bundler, right? Like it's not the JavaScript bundle, the TypeScript bundle will not be running all the time and serving all the time to the app. It is like compiled in the build time, so it has to be like recompiled and then pushed to the device. So it's like a different paradigm from React Native and LynxJS.
Yeah, and that's what's interesting. And so there's some potential developer experience uplift from this, for sure. The thing, in their Discord I asked about in particular was, how do you do over-the-air app updates in this paradigm? And so doing over-the-air app updates is good for when it's the holidays and you need to ship an emergency patch, but no one at Apple's going to review your new binary package, so you can ship emergency features. Code push and OTA updates is probably the biggest thing that convinced me React Native was the way to go when I was at BlueJeans in 2016. Just being able to deploy over the air to specific customers, or like do phased rollouts of 1%, 10%, 20%. That was very powerful to me for enabling BlueJeans' business operations. And so I did ask in the Valdi Discord about over-the-air updates, and in particular, and then they gave a response, which is, well, it's compiled, so it's not really a thing. And I was like, well, how do you do feature flags and A/B experiments then? Like, do you have to deliver all, like, there's two choices. One is that you can have every variant on an experiment is compiled into every app binary, and every user gets that. That's one way to do it, which is, I would say, maybe not the most modern way or the most innovative or cutting edge way to do it. The other way is that you deliver a over-the-air Delta bundle that's just the diff that gives the experiment or the A/B experiment code only to the people that are going to be in the experiment in the first place. Why does anybody care? Well, in one case, you can distribute only the code that's going to be run by that user. And so that makes your app bundle smaller. And you might say, well, Matt, who gives a shit for one experiment? But the thing is that in a larger org that is focused on growth, they don't run one experiment at a time. There's usually dozens of experiments at a time. And then each individual feature team has their own feature flags they're flipping on and off. And you can almost double the size of your application bundle once if you don't really pay attention to this stuff. And for some people that might not be a problem. But this was a problem that I hit at the last couple of companies I was at, where the app bundle was huge, and most of it was users were getting code in the app bundle for experiments that they were never going to be enrolled in the first place. And so there's a conceptual problem where you're over deploying code to people that are never going to use that code. That's a little bit wasteful, even conceptually. But the other thing is that if you're working on a top secret feature and you don't want anyone to know about it, and yet you are distributing the code for that top secret feature that you're going to announce at your quarterly earnings or whatever, or at your next big developer conference or user conference, and anybody that can unpack the bundle and disassemble it can see what the feature is going to be, that is a problem. And it was a big problem at my most recent previous employer, where stuff kept getting leaked because everything was going out in every bundle to everybody sort of worldwide. And so the answer that they had in the Valdi Discord for this was that, yeah, they kind of distribute all the experiments and all the feature flags into every app bundle to everybody. They don't have a way to dynamically roll that out or update that outside of the App Store. Great.
Do you see my screen?
Live stream accomplished.
Yeah.
What honestly, I didn't expect it to build. I didn't expect this. Like my Xcode setup is like Xcode 26 beta from, I don't know, September or something.
Yeah.
And it didn't work with Lynx a few weeks ago when we tried. I had to downgrade Xcode to the previous version. But Lynx doesn't support iOS 26 yet, I think.
I see.
Xcode. Xcode 26. So I didn't expect this to work, especially with all of the problems that we had with my setup, but it did. So let's run the hot reload command, and I wonder if the command is global or if it's like project specific. So if I run it not in the project directory, if it's gonna work.
I would imagine that it goes through the parents trying to find something, maybe. Like that's what React Native does. That's what a lot of these things do. Is if I can't find the config file or that tells me exactly what to do,
please choose a target. Okay, so I guess this is the target. Okay, this is also like such a weird developer experience. Like I don't know what those other apps are, but I guess this is mine. So. Connecting to it.
/ reminds me of Windows file share stuff, or of Perforce.
Okay. So I'm gonna go to my project and run the command again. And yes, so no?
Nope.
Build is not complete.
Failed. Android NDK home.
Okay.
Is not set. Maybe in this terminal.
Yeah, maybe I was in the wrong one. Well, maybe this one was not reloaded. Was not sourced. Okay.
Yeah.
Checking. But why did it need NDK if I have the iOS running only? But okay.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. They might not fully have these tool chains separated on totally separate paths. Which I mean,
okay, this is a
we
similar
can vibe code that.
This is similar experience from when we run iOS. So I guess this is just the basal way of letting you know how it works, right? Actions and running actions.
Yeah, which is nice. There's a lot of visibility here. It's kind of telling you how many things it's running in parallel and this kind of stuff. Although, seeing this kind of makes me think like maybe if Callstack can expand Rock or the React Native Enterprise Framework to do cache pre-built for Lynx and Valdi, you could probably
Yeah, that would be great. Did you hear that? I think last week, Expo. Was it? How is it called? Expo Launch started supporting Flutter,
Oh, okay.
which I think is great. Like, I think Expo should support all of those like different mobile technologies, like native ones as well.
Guys, I'm gonna do a short interjection because I'm really sorry, but I have to drop from the stream.
Thank you.
So Matt, it was a pleasure. Hopefully, I'll have more occasions to jump on a stream with you because it's super fun to listen to your stories, and you have so much knowledge. God damn.
Yeah, I
I'm really
it,
old.
Matt.
Experienced is the better word.
Sure.
Kevin, stay for 1 minute. Matt, how old were you when you started programming?
I was 6, so that was in 1984, and it was on a computer called a TI-99, which very similar to like the ZX Spectrum or the Commodore PET or these kind of similar 8-bit microcomputers from the era. And so my mom was a programmer and a gamer, video gamer. She loved video games, and so she got me started pretty early. And then after that TI-99, we got a PC, an IBM compatible PC in 1987 that ran MS-DOS 2.1. And I started programming in BASIC on the TI-99, kept doing that on MS-DOS. And then I got into Turbo Pascal around 1988, I want to say.
Yeah, I was born already.
Yeah,
I was 4 at that time. Great.
Yeah, and then I got into x86 assembly language, and and I just kind of never stayed in one language or one platform or one technology. I really just found even back then there's good different ideas across all of these languages and platforms and stuff.
Like when you were programming, I was struggling to color inside the lines.
No, but I mean, like, it's not even the difference of because like you are what, like 10 years older than I am, around that.
Yeah,
but it's not even a difference of you being born 10 years earlier, but you started programming at such a young age of 6, and I started programming in age of like, I don't know, 14 or 15, something like that. That's such a gap, right?
Still fast. I started programming when I was 20.
Yeah.
Well, it's different opportunities. Like I said, like if my mom hadn't been a programmer, who knows like what would have happened. But I think the thing that probably binds us all together is that I feel like we all have this kind of insatiable curiosity where it's like there's not so much thing as too much knowledge accrual. And it just kind of just makes you want to, and I'm sure it's annoying to my colleagues from times where I go, what if this or whatever? And they're like, oh no, please, can we please just do something simple and whatever? But those what if moments or those open questions or curiosities usually, not always, but usually lead to, double performance, like a multiplier on app performance or on revenue capability or on team scalability or like whatever. And there's no one final right answer. And some people hate that. But for the way that my brain works, I think it's great. And that's one of the reasons I appreciate LynxJS having a unique perspective and Valdi having a unique perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I kind of can't predict what are the ripple effects of these architectural decisions that distinguish them. Some of them I can guess about and maybe be right or wrong about, but some of them I can't guess about, and I'm just deeply curious. Like, what does it mean?
Okay, the hot reloaded is connected. Kevin, if you stay for another 1 minute, I'm gonna make a change to this project.
Okay, I'm kind of curious how fast it will.
Yeah.
How hot is that reload?
So, how hot is this reload? Yeah.
Ah,
Basil. I guess it's in modules, and then I guess it's in source and here.
Okay.
So we have
Alright.
view models.
Yeah, add V to
Component
Valdi. Welcome to Vivaldi.
Vivaldi.
Oh yeah. Let's do that.
Console login app render.
Welcome to
Callstack. Yeah, sure.
save.
Oh,
That's pretty
wow,
fast.
It works.
Wait,
Yeah.
it changed before you saved? Or was I...
No.
He might have been fast on the
No, it
command
didn't.
S there. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Oh, okay.
Alright.
So it's fast.
But like, so look at this. This is welcome to Vivaldi string, but this render label is what? It's this also. Okay, it doesn't return because like it mutates this object, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
completely
there are a
different
bunch of
convention
like
than
different
React.
paradigms in this that you
Yeah,
would have to like.
I think this might be on purpose to show you the layers at play. So obviously, like line 50 or 51 through 57 is here's your declarative, and then line 63 is here's your imperative, and that you can mix both in the same file. Because some frameworks don't let you do that. For instance, like
So
like
you
per
mean-
file you have to choose a paradigm.
So
Okay, guys,
you mean
I'm dropping.
yeah, see ya,
so
Kevin.
Thank you again. See ya. Bye
Bye.
bye.
See ya.
That's a good point. That's a good point. The declarative is here, and then we run this
Call an
function
imperative.
as a value, but maybe you could run this function from some other context.
Or just a separate source file that's not a TSX file. Right. And so think
Okay,
about
yeah.
code reuse. Think about like I want to make libraries that are reusable outside of TSX files because I don't want to have to do a transform on them just to be able to use them. Telemetry is a great example of a library like that where the declarative nature doesn't come into play, for instance.
Okay, the styles look similar to React Native, definitely. Like it looks like style sheet. And also, like, okay, and it even has this, I guess it has to because it's a TypeScript. So you have to like provide some kind of wrapper around it.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice if TypeScript could infer what the parameterized type is based on the bag of properties, but maybe there's some ambiguities there that you need to do that. That's more of a comment on TypeScript than Valdi. But yeah, if their CSS stuff is named the same as the W3C standard stuff, that's great. What I personally don't want to see again is I forget what year it was, 7 years ago. There were all these like CSS and JS like libraries. There's like 20 of them or 30 of them or whatever. Everybody had one, and none of them matched the CSS like label, like the keyword sort of standard. And that was kind of a nightmare from a onboarding and scaling a team perspective, where every one of us was so different. So, and I don't have CSS memorized, so I don't know if this is actually how close it is to, the W3C naming convention, standard naming convention here. But it would be nice if it was aligned, because then there's a bunch of code gen and type checking you can have in common with web tooling, with browser-based tooling, which would be nice.
What do you think about writing JSX directly in the function body with no return?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Like, aside from no returning, this is a syntax error in just regular TypeScript, in regular JavaScript, correct?
Yeah, this is a little. I don't know how to feel about this. I'll say what I think is happening, which could be wrong. And if what I think is happening, this is not fantastic. So what this means is that when you put a view in like this, it must have a side effect.
Yeah.
Not return a value with
was
an
mentioned
explicit
in the docs.
render. Yeah. And because this is an explicit on-render lifecycle, maybe only when this lifecycle method is called are those side effects allowed. The thing I think about any kind of side effects, even in C++, even in Rust, is it's hard to reason about. And as a result, it's hard to scale teams around it. Things that are very side effect oriented. This is why functional programming became so attractive to people, because they'd worked in code that had global side effects for everything. So that's one thing, is like, yeah, it doesn't return a value. Maybe that's okay for this particular lifecycle method. But the other thing that occurs to me is we're back to lifecycle methods, which in React we moved away from. We moved toward function components and hooks.
Yeah.
And so, and the reason, the royal we, it wasn't my decision. It was someone at Facebook.
No, we as an ecosystem.
Yeah, we as an ecosystem. But Pete Hunter, Sophie could probably tell us whose idea it was specifically in the room. But the lifecycle methods were too difficult to reason about for not just new developers, but even current developers.
Well, I like them. So I came from Android development, where when I was used to having lifecycle methods for my mobile project. So I was used to them, and it felt familiar to me when I saw them for the first time in React Native, like on create, on render, no, not on render, it was rendered then, but like on, did we have on create? No, component did mount, sorry, on create is in Android space. Component did mount, component will mount, component will render, which was unsafe somehow, and then and then render, and like bunch of them, probably like 7 different calls. But yeah, like you said, we moved away from those.
Yeah, and there was stuff where, and frankly, a lot of this was found by internally at Facebook when they were trying to solve some of these major product issues for products that had 1 billion users, where they could run experiments and know, like, hey, or just their own internal developer scaling of the framework, which is one of the biggest advantages of React and React Native from back then, was they were dog fooding a lot. And so if they were doing something, it's because they hit something at scale before anybody else who would have adopted it, third party would have hit. And so with this, I'm just genuinely curious. I'd love to just hear directly from principal engineer at Snap, or about just like this particular decision, for instance, and what are they finding in 2025 that makes them go back to a lifecycle method approach?
Well, it's not new, right? They could have created this 8 years ago. This like on create, on render might have been influenced by React back then, by Android back then, and then they just like, it didn't bother them internally. They built their paradigms around this system, so it just stick. What I would like to watch is, like you say, someone high up on their team doing like 2-hour, 3-hour deep dive, because like the docs are not enough for me. Like I will not spend enough time with the docs, with playing around with this, in order to understand it. I need someone to point a finger to important places, saying, this is important, like you need to know about this concept, and this is why we did that particular thing, you need to know about that, and here are like 5 of those things for you to reason about our project, to reason about like how you would write applications in it, and like what kind of applications do we encourage you to write, and what kinds of applications like you probably shouldn't like bother with this, like go to other tools.
Yeah, the like I would kind of lump all those into what's the solution context.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, what are those top 3 things? Like, here was the scaling problem we hit in application performance, onboarding, team scalability can mean lots of different things. But it's like, here are the top 3 scalability problems we solved with these specific aspects of Valdi. And I'm sure that those exist. I'm not trying to cast doubt that this happened for no reason or saying that's not what I'm saying. But there are some things I kind of guess about, but I would love for it to be explicit storytelling on Snap's part. Just like they're telling a great explicit story about Snap Spectacles. That have a browser runtime that runs on them and a JavaScript runtime that runs on them. Like their Snap Studio, you write in TypeScript, and so there is continuity between. There is some high level continuity between Valdi and how you develop in Snap Studio as well. Like so that's cool. But for instance, on the Snap Spectacles, it's a WebKit-based browser using JavaScript core, and here they're using Hermes. And I guess you could run both runtimes. Like you could run Firefox and Chrome on your laptop, but on a device like this that's so TDP and memory constrained, it's a miracle device, don't get me wrong, but like it seems like you would want to have one JavaScript runtime to rule them all. But it's possible that because it AOT compiles to native, none of this code ever runs as JavaScript or as Hermes bytecode or JavaScript core bytecode like it does in the browser or with SnapLens with Lens. Sorry, I'm not their product person. Lens Studio, I think is what it's called. But yeah, but there is some continuity here, and a thing I asked in their Discord was Snap Spectacles, like, are the first party apps running on Snap Spectacles right now written in Valdi? That would be cool and interesting to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the case. It would also be interesting to go like, well, why not? What does Valdi not scale down to this kind of form factor, to this kind of memory footprint or whatever else?
Also, like, there are a bunch of documentation here, like a lot. Like you have folder docs, and inside folder docs you have folder docs. So like it's like two how do I say that? 2 degrees of like documentation, and then like you have advanced animations, advanced element, advanced full stack, advanced images, like all of that. So like it shows that they've been using that for years and years.
I think so, yeah.
That they had a bunch of developers go through that. They all need to know that, because like this is not an public system, so they need to have that knowledge base internally. At the same time, with all of that given to us at the same time, we need someone to point, okay, so like here are the important parts, read this first, read that later, etc.
Yeah. I mean, even the React Native docs like weren't perfect, and so like this .labs did a fantastic job like redoing like I think React as well, maybe, and the React Native docs, and it just got even that much better. And these are just the kind of things that require dedicated time and attention. So I would love to see Snap engage with some of these ecosystem partners like Callstack or this .labs or Infinite Red to try to, I don't want to say, we don't want this to be the same as React Native or the same as LynxJS. That's not what we want, but definitely your point about the documentation generally and how rickety, I would say, the initial system setup and how much you had to pollute your local environment, including your VS Code, just to get it to run.
I'm not gonna do any work tomorrow. I'm gonna clean everything up,
or just wipe it and restore from iCloud maybe. It's not that bad, but like these are just the kind of things that require dedicated time and attention. These aren't unfixable things, and
and
and we did get it to run with hot reloading even though it's only a week old. And it was slightly less smooth than the LynxJS live stream, where it seemed to be everything was kind of just flowing. But it's definitely not like when React Native was first open source. There were just parts that were missing that they didn't export properly as part of the open source thing because they'd only tested it on their corporate laptops. So there's nothing like that here. This worked, right?
Yeah.
And
There
so,
is a Valdi doctor. Look.
oh, maybe we should have run that.
Yeah.
or maybe it should have run it itself when it, instead of just giving us like the sub shell error of can't
it's
find
like
this
with
path.
So Kevin found the link to like setting up your macOS machine. Okay, that's like I should have read that, but even with that, the problem was there. But like all of this documentation is like cross-referencing itself. Like if you want to do this, go there, and like it's what I want to say is it's awesome that it's all here. And if you have like 2 or 3 days of your life to spend on reading the documentation, you should definitely do that. And probably like onboarding in Snap allows you to spend a week just going through documentation and do that. When I was starting learning React Native, this was my advantage, actually. I got hired in the company where we had some React Native project, but not much React Native knowledge. I would spend nights and nights just reading through docs and reading through blog posts. And the next morning, I would go to work bringing this like, we should use Redux or we should use MobX from now on, or we should use this and that because like that's the new hot thing and everyone agrees on this in the documentation and blog posts. And like, this is what's missing here. Like actually, like I need to read all of this in order for to understand like what's this about. Sorry, I'm already. It's already hard for me to speak after 3 hours of live stream.
No problem. Is there
we should wrap up.
Is there any final note that you wanna end on here?
Yeah, I was going to ask you this thing. Like, is there anything that you still want to dive into, like look at from the code perspective, or anything that we should discuss at the end here?
No, I think what we showed people is how to debug your environments and some Unix shell scripting stuff for doing that, which is not a bad thing for people to know. And we showed that what is in the GitHub repo right now can and does work, including the hot reloading.
Yeah.
And I think that's enough for people to start playing around and seeing what's the size of the APK. Like if they start to transplant parts of their React Native application into this as a test, what is it like? Does it support all the JavaScript features that they use in their existing app? So I'm really curious to start seeing people doing deeper and wider experiments with Valdi now that we've seen how it works. But we could dive into the code and single step through the async bridge, which is the first thing I did with React Native in 2016. The async bridge was the thing they talked about in a conference talk or a keynote, I can't remember, where they explained like, here's the difference, it's the async bridge, and we did it because of these good reasons. I was sold. I was like, this solves the problem that Ruby Motion and there's a Python-based app, another scripting-based app, like native app thing. All of those were not fantastic because they weren't async. So the async, learning that, but here's the core thing that makes this amazing for scriptable apps performance, where you can also do over-the-air app delivery. And I'd love to get directly from someone at Snap of, here's how we've evolved Valdi in the last year based on internal developer feedback and the needs of the business. And I think if I could understand what those engineering needs and business needs are and how the steps Valdi took in the last 6 to 9 to 12 months, how it's evolved, just looking back a couple of quarters, and then saying, here's how we're going to evolve it going forward to solve these problems. Just knowing that solution context would give me an idea of what the underlying principles and values are. And for me, that's what gets me excited about new technologies and new frameworks is, are the people designing those new technologies, is their intent to solve problems that I personally care about or not? And it's okay if they're not solving problems that I care about. They're solving problems other people care about, and that's great. But I would love to get that strategy level breakdown of, here's the internal feedback. Yeah.
This is what we do on this stream.
Yeah, well, this is what it looks like when engineers are actually doing the work instead of doing pre-recorded videos.
And for everyone watching, like it's what you said, Matt, that like I'm not afraid of saying that I'm dumb and I don't know some things.
Yeah.
But believe me, like it would have taken me 50% of the time it took me on stream to get it running, because then I could just like focus on doing the right things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing a live stream is juggling a lot of things, and you've got two screens to see what's going on in the chat and like whatever else. So
and then
I didn't
token,
take this as any indicator of your skill as a computer operator.
But like it's always nice to pair program with someone that knows more like this utility for shell scripting, for
Sure.
Unix terminal things. That's great.
Yeah, sure.
Also, that path token, don't worry about it. That's probably from like an old project. I think I've used it a year ago, and it just like sits in my environment. I deleted all of the SSH from my GitHub, so I'm gonna restore that tomorrow. But like that path token was not a problem. 95% sure of that.
It will not keep me up tonight then, now that I know that.
No.
It.
Okay.
Awesome.
I want to thank everyone who stayed with us for 3-hour live stream. I want to thank Matt for joining me, so I have someone to talk to after everyone dropped, apparently, from my co-hosts. For Snap Framework, what I want to say is I want them to join us on like React Universe podcast maybe sometimes to talk about this, but I would really want them to create a good conference talk, or not even a conference talk, just create a 2-hour video for YouTube explaining your decisions, explaining the like ins and outs, what's the important parts. Yeah, solution context.
Yep.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Matt, and see you next week.
Always a pleasure. Bye.
Bye-bye. So I'm gonna... I need to do the music. I need to do...